This segment of the news is brought to you by Smitty's Cards and Coins. Would you like to know what your collectibles are worth? Come by 2281 Postal Road, Unit 4, across from the post office.
Welcome back to News 46. Well, 3 people died and at least 20 were injured when an attacker rammed a car into crowds of people before stabbing a police officer in the grounds of the UK Parliament in London. The assault, which came on the 1-year anniversary of the ISIS bomb attacks in Brussels, brought carnage to Westminster. Among the dead were a police officer and the assailant. A woman was pulled from the River Thames alive but with serious injuries. Parliament was placed on lockdown and lawmakers were forced to remain in the main debating chamber of the House of Commons as firearms officers rushed to the scene outside.
Well, let's join Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, the big plunge. It's difficult to pinpoint exactly what triggered yesterday's stock market plummet, but chatter among traders is that there's growing fear in the market that the Trump administration's tax cuts or regulation reform won't happen soon. Bank stocks were hit hardest. Goldman Sachs alone trimmed 62 points off the Dow. A couple of notes on earnings. FedEx turned in a mixed bag of quarterly results, sending shares lower. The delivery company missed analyst estimates on earnings while revenue was in line. FedEx blamed fuel prices and one less operating day for some of its units. Nike pulled past Wall Street forecasts. That stock fell in the after-hour session. Worth a mention, traders put on a record number of short trades, expecting shares would decline on earnings. A new aim for Target. The chain is embarking on aggressive redesigns of its stores with hopes of luring in more shoppers.
Detective Michael Eisenloffel from the Nye County Sheriff's Office spoke to local seniors today about fraud.
In some residential communities like this, you have these cluster boxes that are secured, where the mail person comes to one location and all the mailboxes in one big box. We've had some suspects who have broken into those boxes. We've had other suspects who were able to manufacture fake keys, the same keys that the postman has to get into the back of those boxes. Those keys are out there, and we've involved the United States Postal Service inspectors. They're working with us, but it doesn't stop from these people to keep committing their crimes.
Our officers actually take fraud and scam reports on a daily basis. It's clearly one of the most prevalent crimes, especially in terms of being committed against senior citizens in our community.
There's all types of different situations. One I hadn't heard before was the one about the car accidents and how people say that you've either hit them or their vehicle.
Correct. It's a rather common scam that's been occurring lately, both here as well as in Clark County. The basic scenario involves an individual, usually senior citizens, backing out of a parking space at a local casino or at a store, and they're suddenly approached by someone claiming that the individual just hit their car, and then basically asking them for personal identifying information as well as money with the promise of not calling police. And in turn, what they're basically trying to do is intimidate the senior citizens into turning over money and personal information. It's clearly a scam, and even if it's not, it's unlawful. The law is pretty clear that in the event of an accident, that it needs to be reported to law enforcement.
Are you amazed on how brazen some of these people are? Because I've even had the IRS scam people call me. They seem to be very pushy.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the name of the game. And senior citizens are especially a victim in terms of those types of crimes. They've learned to respect authority. And so when someone pretends to be someone in a position of authority, such as a fake IRS agent or someone from the court system, senior citizens tend to unfortunately believe that and fall prey to that type of crime, especially when they're being threatened with being fined or even incarceration, when in fact the entire thing is nothing but a scam. I would always recommend that if it does not sound right, if it sounds too good to be true, or if you're in doubt, hang up, call the institution back on the phone number that you already have, or in all cases, call the Nye County Sheriff's Office, and one of our deputies will be more than happy to respond to your home and listen to what's going on and then give you proper advice.
You can give a phone call to the Nye County Sheriff's Office for any further information. They're always available. What's the number?
Always call the Nye County Sheriff's Office non-emergency line at 775-751-7000, option number 5. Or if nothing else works, try 911. But we'll be more than happy to respond or even answer your questions.
All right, more of your local news when we return.